And I think that we're well placed with what we've got to be able to help companies. Because sickness obviously comes from lots of different areas. Wellness and mental health, all of these things now are coming to the fore, and people are starting to want to talk about these things, rightly so, and we should welcome that. And I think that by putting these strategies in place, that we have employee benefits, loyalty tools, reward mechanisms, those types of things will hopefully start to help companies to drive those sickness days down, but also the cost of retention, the cost of employing staff.
Do you know what I was surprised about? And we looked at some surveys done by Oxford University, and out of employees that were surveyed, 15% of employees considered themselves highly motivated.
Wow.
That's a very, very low number. Yes, retention certainly is the order of the day, because good, talented staff are not available in plentiful supply. I think that's partly due to Brexit. I think it's partly due to the pandemic, and I know from the people that I speak to that everybody's considering new work-life balances. They've enjoyed working at home. They've enjoyed taking the children to school. They've enjoyed picking the children up. They've enjoyed making a cup of coffee and just having 20 minutes downtime and working at home. And a flexible employer in the past would be somebody that allowed flexi time. Oh, you can work at home. You can have some technology that allows you to do that work elsewhere. That's the new norm now. So employers are having to work so much harder than they've ever worked before. And the reason why employers have had to do that isn't just because they can't recruit, but it's so many other factors. You've mentioned very rightly the sickness element, which is massive, and this isolations and what's gone on in the last 18 months is unprecedented. And fortunately, businesses have had support, but that support now is finishing. And so we have to innovate. Yes. We have to inspire our team, and we have to consider what losing an individual in your organisation looks like to the organisation. So let me give you an example. Just imagine that you have 500 staff that work for you, and your retention rate is 70%. And some industries it's 5, 10, some it's 50, 60%. Yes. But imagine it was 70%. What that means to that business is that they have to find 150 new people a year to do the jobs that they're already doing. Now, it's very, very difficult to recruit, and it's costly. So let's assume that the cost of recruiting is about £7,000 a person, which includes induction time and the cost of an agency or a recruiter. You times that by 150 people, you're looking at 1.1 million of hard cost.
Wow.
Now, that's significant. Now, you may have strategies to recruit that cost you less money than that, but then let's think about the other items that are up for consideration. It takes 28 weeks for an individual to be upskilled and get to being used to the policies, processes, ways of working, customers and other members of the team to be productive.
Yep.
It, on average, when somebody leaves a business, the average loss of turnover is anything up to £30,000 per annum per individual. Well, potentially that could cause the business's turnover to halve by within a year, and no business can sustain that.
No.
And equally as important, when somebody leaves, the loss of knowledge in that business to a competitor potentially
yeah.
can be catastrophic. And that loss of knowledge, we all know businesses that have Bob in the technical department that knows how to sort that problem, and everybody, he's that go-to person. When Bob goes, what happens? Customers lose faith, trust in an organisation, and suddenly the turnover and their reputation goes down. So we know the challenges that businesses have, and these are the touch points from a cost perspective, and staff being engaged and being motivated is massively important, and well-being is very much the order of the day, and care. From a staff perspective, something that's been really, really interesting from the surveys that we've looked at, the majority of surveys rate care, appreciation, rewards, benefits, perks, all above pay rises when they're considering whether they stay at that employer of choice.
Above 80%, I think that number was. When we looked at that, we were really surprised, weren't we?
Fantastic, yes. 80% of staff that were surveyed said they'd rank all those other items above a pay rise. And they'd rank those items very, very highly if they were considering a new employer. So, massively important. And how we deliver that as an organisation, because it's quite key. It's very easy to put a reward system and advertise that in a job advert, but what's key is how it's communicated. Yep. We provide a technology solution to communicate that. That technology solution serves up the benefits. It allows employees to genuinely see those benefits, and they're not just benefits that are for them personally, they're benefits for their family, which ties in with the cornerstone of communities and families. And we're able to serve up a variety of different options depending on what their staff group want, and different industries require different things. So our piece of technology delivers a retention strategy that can save significant amounts of money. We believe that with a successful retention strategy, we can save anything from 1% to 4% of the gross payroll. Now, that's a real big statement to say, but it has to have the commitment of all of the senior leadership team of the organisation. Yes. But we're very, very strong in the belief, and we have solutions that certainly can guarantee 1%.
Yes.
So we can guarantee 1% saving of an organisation's gross payroll. That is massive and can be used to fund the retention programme.